Space to run into here. I'm going to strike with Rodrigo, and it's off the bar. No one is giving me any options, so he has to just turn and go it alone himself, and I'm going to strike from distance. Don't really have many options that I can actually pass to. Sinisterra holding on to the ball. I'm going to strike from distance. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new episode of my FIFA 23 career mode with Leeds United Football Club. And as you can see, we are doing pretty well so far. We're in third place after 10 games with 19 points. I don't think it's going to last very long, as anyone who saw my last episode will attest to. I have upgraded my my AI stats, so I am now playing at Ultimate rather than either World Class or Legendary. So I do think it's only a matter of time before we start tumbling down the Premier League table. But let's have a quick look to see how many games we've got coming up in this episode. We've got 4 games, one against Nottingham Forest, 2 huge games against Arsenal and City, and then we're going to finish off against Bournemouth. So I think I'm going to play the Notts Forest game, play the Arsenal and City game, and then I'll finish off by simming the Bournemouth game. So well, let's get straight into it. So as you can see, starting 11 is the normal starting 11. The only change really is I'm bringing in the goal scorer from the Crystal Palace game in the last episode, Jacob Ramsey, in midfield to take the place of Rocha. Apart from that, it's the usual starting 11. And as for Nottingham Forest, after bringing in about 20,000 players in the summer, they've gone with 3 at the back, 3 in midfield and 2 up front. Jesse Lingard, the standout in the cam position, and former Tottenham player Serge Aurier as well at right wing back. So going to be a very interesting game against a potential relegation rival. So hopefully we can get a decent result. I'll play that out to Christensen. Lingard read it and made a lovely, lovely block. And now they have the ball to drive forward, and they do drive forward. And this is ridiculous. What is my centre-back doing? The AI has to engage. This is just ridiculous. I haven't got him... I haven't actually put the marker on him, but for surely the AI have to engage. They can't just stand there and let the player run past them, as they seem to be doing right now. Very, very frustrating. And Nottingham Forest drive forward again. It's Martinez. Lovely flick, to be fair. Unfortunately, Meslier was paying attention. Nottingham Forest with the first quarter of the game, just under 13 minutes. They go short to Freuler. Freuler throws that one in, and Martinez is there ahead of our defender, and they lead 1-0 early doors here. It's been a really, really poor start from us, to be completely honest. And Nottingham Forest very much taking the game to us and getting a 1-0 lead. Really disappointing, as they are a team that we're probably going to be fighting come the end of the season. Really sloppy defending. And it's 1-0 Nottingham Forest. Junior Firpo, I'm looking for an angle, to be honest, for someone to pass it to. And there is no one available. Struijk out wide this time to Christensen. He makes himself available. And he can drive down this right-hand side. He does drive down the right-hand side. He gives it in field to Rodrigo, who gives it to Gerhard, who puts it in the back of the net. It's 1-0, and it's a fantastic finish after another fluid counter-attack. And it's another goal for Gerhard. I think it's his 4th or 5th now in the Premier League. Not quite sure, but a stunning strike. Left the goalkeeper with absolutely no chance. Fluid counter-attack. Great ball in from Rodrigo. Gerhard marched away from the defender and slammed that into the top left-hand corner. Keeper, absolutely no chance. 1-1. Tyler Adams wins that head very well. Rodrigo, space to run into here. I'm going to strike with Rodrigo, and it's off the bar. That is a better strike than I thought it was going to be. A cracking start. Cracking strike, I should say, sorry, from Rodrigo. Keeper was beaten, and it smashes against the bar. Nottingham Forest escape, only out as far as Struijk. Poor defending from Struijk, and Lingard is in here. Llorente, has he got the pace to try and stop him? He doesn't. Lingard driving inside. These players turn like trucks. Christensen with the diving header away. It's so frustrating. It takes them about half an hour to turn around. Freuler has it. Into Awani, into Martinez, and Lingard just wide of the post. I think the keeper had that covered. We're going at half-time, 1-1. Out wide to Sinisterra, who finds himself in a good pocket of space. He gives... I was looking for the ball inside to Jacob Ramsey, but annoyingly, he didn't find him. It was a very poor pass. And now Lingard is in through the centre. It's a big save from Meslier. Nottingham Forest look like they're going to go short. They do go short to Freuler. He throws it in. And Niakate gets there ahead of both my defender and my goalkeeper. I don't know what on earth was going on. I was smashing the circle button to try and get it clear. And annoyingly, Meslier and my centre-back both beaten to the ball. And Nottingham Forest now lead 2-1. Very, very disappointing. Sinisterra into Adams. Adams out wide to Firpo. Does Firpo have the pace to get away? He's got space to run into, but not too much pace. We'll try and put this in the box. We do. It's not the best ball. And to be honest, I think it was only Gerhard who was in the box. No other options. Don't know where Bamford was. Martinez turns away from my defender. Tyler Adams trying to come across to defend, and he doesn't come across to defend. What on earth sort of challenge was that? They drive into the box. Meslier with a huge save. And that is that. It's 3-1 after more shoddy defending from us. Lingard this time with the goal. He celebrates with the fans. It's an overhead kick inside our box. And I'm pretty sure it's looking like the 3 points are going to Nottingham Forest. Junior Firpo with the throw. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last action of the game. And it is going to be the last action of the game. It's 3 losses on the bounce. It's a loss at the start of this episode, and it's a big loss. It's 3-1 at home to Nottingham Forest, a team that we're probably going to be fighting against come the end of the season. It's a really disappointing loss. And now we've got Arsenal and Man City next. So fresh off what was one of the easiest games of the episode that we ended up losing 3-1 to Nottingham Forest, we are now on to a wet and windy Ellen Road for what will probably be one of the harder games of the episode against Arsenal. I think this is going to be a very tricky one. Let's have a look at the starting lineups. So as you can see, we are gone 4-4-2 once again, and it's the usual back four, except Luca Netz comes in at left back for Junior Firpo. Jacob Ramsey starts in midfield, and it's the usual attacking trio with Gelhardt leading the line. So the only real change from the team that lost to Nottingham Forest is Luca Netz coming in at left back. And as for Arsenal, it's Aaron Ramsdale on goal. They've matched us up 4-2-3-1. Cedric Gabriel, Pau Torres and Zinchenko at the back with El Neni and Thomas Partey in midfield. Saka, Odegaard and Martinelli the attacking three with Gabriel Jesus leading the line for them. Straight away, we give the ball away. El Neni picks it up inside the centre of the park. Lovely ball through to Gabriel Jesus. Turns, does the step over into the box. Meslier catches the ball, and inside the opening 4 minutes, Arsenal are already putting the pressure on. Into Sinisterra, and Gabriel with a great block there. Arsenal win it back. Arsenal pretty much all over us in this opening 10 minutes. Gabriel Jesus easily ran my centre-back, but then cuts back, gives it to Odegaard, into Saka, 1-0. Too easy. It's all too easy for Arsenal. I don't know what we're doing defensively, all over the shop. Arsenal absolutely walk past us, and already, inside the opening 8 minutes, it's 1-0. Can't seem to string any decent periods of possession at all, but Gelhardt wins that quite high up, to be fair. And we don't really have any options, though. I was looking for any sort of run. No one is giving me any options, so he has to just turn and go it alone himself, and I'm going to strike from distance. And you know what? That is good play from Gelhardt. Absolutely no one else showing me any sort of options whatsoever, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take the strike on. And he forced a good stop from Ramsdale. It's our first corner of the game. Odegaard goes past Llorente, out wide to Martinelli. Christensen trying to catch up with him, just doesn't have the pace to do so. Martinelli cuts back inside into Odegaard. Saka, it's 2-0. And again, it's all too easy for Arsenal. Great play from them, but there is literally nothing we can do about it. Just too quick, too fast, too powerful. It's 2-0. Goes inside to Rodrigo. Rodrigo now into Jacob Ramsey. Ramsey trying to cut back into Rodrigo. He does. Rodrigo strikes straight against the goal, straight against the defender. Christensen has it though. Trying to turn, trying to find an angle. Can't quite. Going to dink this one in. Pau Torres gets his head on it. And eventually, Ramsdale collects. Thomas Partey trying to drive down the right-hand side. Gets ahead of Jacob Ramsey. And now he keeps going and he keeps driving into our penalty area. This time, lays it off to Odegaard. It's too simple once again. Thomas Partey, with too much strength, too much power, eases away from Luca Netz and eases it into the path of Odegaard, who finishes it off with a great finish, to be fair. Finessed around the goalkeeper into the top corner. And 3 points are definitely going to Arsenal. It's 3-0 here in the rain, and it does not look good for us. It's easily going to go past Luca Netz, who, I have to be honest, has struggled today, to be completely fair. I think maybe might be one step too far for him to throw him in against Arsenal, but I thought I'd give him the opportunity. Gelhardt has it. Speaking of opportunity, strikes. It's a half-decent strike. Ramsdale fairly easily saves, but it will be another corner. Looks like Martinelli was going to overlap, and he does overlap, and now he brings it back into Odegaard. Arsenal just ripping us apart here. Odegaard, too easy round Llorente. Fortunately, Meslier is there with the save. Junior Firpo on for Luca Netz. Jacob Ramsey. Tyler Adams. He looks for Popescu down the centre. Popescu into the box. Popescu, lovely goal from Popescu on as a substitute for Rodrigo. And he drives into the Arsenal penalty area and easily puts the ball past Ramsdale. It's a great goal from him after a lovely ball through from, I think it was Tyler Adams. Great finish from Popescu. Popescu's showing signs he might be worth a start here. It's his first goal in 2 games in the Premier League, 3-1. And to be fair, I think that was nothing more than a consolation goal. It ends here at Ellen Road. Arsenal 3, Leeds 1, and it is our 4th loss on the bounce heading into Manchester City. We are down on momentum. We are down on morale. We've got to try and pull out some sort of miracle. So on to the City of Manchester Stadium it is for another incredibly difficult game away at Manchester City. Manchester City topping the table at the moment, and we are doing nothing but sliding all the way down into the bottom half. This is going to be a real struggle. I can already see it. Biggest shock for us, Popescu comes in. I thought after his strong goal, really good goal, and decent substitute appearance against Arsenal, he deserved to start. Rodrigo's been pretty quiet these last few games, so I thought, what the hell? Let's give it a go. Go hard. Out wide to Sinisterra, into the box, and Popescu is there. Unbelievable start inside the opening couple of minutes. Just as I talk about giving Popescu a start in this game, he repays my faith immediately. A thumping header past Ederson, and somehow we lead here at the City of Manchester Stadium 1-0. What an incredible start for us. What an incredible start for Popescu on his Premier League debut. Struijk out wide to Junior Firpo. You know what? I'm going to throw this one in, and couldn't quite get there. Tyler Adams will, and Tyler Adams very close to a second there. Ederson pulling off a great stop. Could he have put more power on that shot? Maybe, but he took it down really well on his chest, and through a barrage of Man City players, he somehow managed to get a shot off, and somehow we managed to get a corner. He plays it into Haaland, who's been pretty quiet so far, but I'm loath to say that because I'm sure he's going to pop up somewhere. And Phil Foden's popped up on this left-hand side, and Haaland popped up inside my penalty area, and that was a very weak shot that fortunately Meslier was able to get his hand to. Goes out for a Manchester City corner, but I do expect better from Haaland in that position. Rodri into Foden. Foden turns. Good stop from Meslier. It's another corner. Plays that out wide to Junior Firpo. I'm going to go down the line here to Sinisterra. Can we get there ahead of the defender? We can. He's driving forward. Going to try and turn around again. Don't really have many options that I can actually pass to. Sinisterra holding on to the ball. I'm going to strike from distance off the bar. Unbelievable strike from Sinisterra. It looked like I was going absolutely nowhere. It looked like the chance had gone. Somehow he managed to fashion a shot. And what a shot it was against the bar. And we are literally inches away, we were there, from it being 2-0. Firpo now into Ramsey, out to Gelhardt, into Popescu. We've got another bite of the cherry. Popescu, I was going to strike there. Meslier. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, Meslier playing with fire there. But then Llorente ends up giving it away. Meslier with a big stop to make amends. Poor from him, poor from Llorente. Right on the strike of half-time. City have another corner here. I think it's their 4th or their 5th of the game. De Bruyne to put it in. It's away from Dan James, only out as far as Cancelo, into Alvarez, into Rodri. Alvarez is going to strike, and it's to Walker. Meslier collects, and at half-time, somehow we go in here at 1-0. Can I find the ball to Sinisterra? I can. Can he get there? He just about can get there ahead of Ruben Diaz. But annoyingly, it's not in the position I wanted him to be in. But we do have the ball once again with Firpo. Looks for Popescu, finds Popescu. Popescu finds Tyler Adams. He's going to strike straight against Nathan Ake. And the goalkeeper will collect. Bernardo Silva has it now. Gives it back, 1-2. Kevin De Bruyne is in. Don't know where my defence is. It's going to be 1-1. It is 1-1. Easy does it for Manchester City. De Bruyne absolutely lashes that past my goalkeeper. My defence, gaping hole in the centre of my defence. Manchester City pretty much just walked through it. Lovely one-touch passing. I think it was between Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland in the end. And Kevin De Bruyne running straight through the heart of my defence. And as soon as he did that, I knew it was going to be 1-1. And it is 1-1. Can he get the pace to get away from Christensen? Doesn't need the pace. He's got the trickery. Turns him into Alvarez, into Haaland. And Haaland, what on earth is Haaland doing? Not like Haaland whatsoever. Somehow we get away with one there as he was in. And I thought for sure it was going to be 2-1. Now Junior Firpo brings this forward. I'm going to look for Sinisterra. He's in. And that's got to be a penalty. It's got to be a penalty. Or is he offside? He's offside. Less than 10 minutes remaining in this game. Haaland back to Cancelo. It's Christensen desperately trying to hold on here against Manchester City for what will be an incredibly valuable 1 point. Adams now driving through into Popescu for 2. It's Ederson, he's out. Just didn't have the composure to dink it across to him, but I think we're not going to be able to get hold of it once again. City get it away into Phil Foden. He drives forward. Where are my defence again? The AI just switching off. Very frustrating. Out to Rodri, who somehow finds himself out on the right wing. Into Foden. Foden's going to strike. Oh my word. What a save from Meslier. I thought for sure it was going to be 2-1 there. Somehow we keep it out. And somehow it's still 1-1. Kyle Walker to Phil Foden to Bernardo Silva to Kyle Walker into Erling Haaland. Haaland strikes straight at Meslier. And I think if we can just keep hold of this ball, I'm going to take my sweet time here. Hopefully we can see this game out. We go short to Llorente. He gives it to Rodrigo. And that is that. A miraculous point here at the City of Manchester Stadium. The Etihad, I should say. I keep calling it the City of Manchester Stadium. Thinking old school, to be completely honest. But it's 1-1 here at the final whistle. I cannot believe after a run of 4 games, in the hardest game to play, we somehow managed to pick up a point. But I am very, very happy with that. Popescu on his debut, on his starting debut, getting the goal early doors. City did manage to get themselves back into it, but it is a very solid and much needed point here. And so it's on to the final game of the episode, and as you can see, it is a game at home against Bournemouth. You can see from my starting 11, I've made a couple of changes. Bamford comes in up top for a slightly fatigued Gelhardt, and also Jack Harrison comes in on the right-hand side for Dan James. We're going to sim this game. Again, this is a team that we will be fighting relegation against, so it's a team that we need to get a result from. And we do get a result. Bamford coming in and showing why he deserved to start today. An early goal from him in the 7th minute gives us a 1-0 lead, and it is a huge victory here against Bournemouth. Looks like we played absolutely brilliantly. 59% possession, 6 shots to their 3, and 41% possession. It's another 3 points in the bag. And if we take a look at the Premier League standings at the end of this episode, somehow you'll see we find ourselves in 5th place, and that is in spite of losing 4 games on the bounce and only picking up a point against Manchester City. I think that win against Bournemouth really helped prop us up and keep us in the fight in the top half. And you can see City are taking the lead here at the top, 4 points clear of United, Chelsea and Liverpool making up now the top 4 as the top 4 starts to look a little bit more realistic. Spurs in 6th, Arsenal now have got themselves up into 7th, so much better from them. And if we go all the way down to the bottom of the table, Brentford, Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth sit in the relegation zone. So for us, we are starting to slowly tumble down the Premier League table, but we are still in 5th somehow, so it's so far so good. And if we head over to the calendar, you can see in December we have an absolute jam-packed schedule. It's going to be 8 games. Brentford, West Ham, Chelsea 3 times. Going to play West Ham twice as well, Liverpool and Wolves. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this month, in half. And I'm going to have 4 games for one episode, 4 games for another. But yeah, 2 jam-packed episodes upcoming. And as for this episode, it's been a bit up and down. It's been disappointing in terms of our opening results. A brilliant draw against City, and we pull it back with a great win against Bournemouth. And so heading into the next episode, we've got a lot to play for. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like and subscribe. It will do the channel an absolute world of good. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.